Whoa! Back at it again. Beautiful Sunday, the Lord's Day, the Sabbath day, Saturday. I really wish that we could change our calendar back to the biblical calendar, where Saturday is the last day. They say the weeks start on Monday, but the strong start on Sunday. Get into it. Genesis 21. Isaac is born. Then the Lord took note of Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had promised. So Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the appointed time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham named his son, who was born to him, the son whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, God has made laughter for me. Everyone who hears will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have given birth to a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham held a great feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. Sarah turns against Hagar. Now Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, mocking Isaac. Therefore she said to Abraham, drive out this slave woman and her son, for the son of this slave woman shall not be an heir with my son Isaac. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because his son Ishmael. But God said to Abraham, do not be distressed because of the boy and your slave woman. Whatever Sarah tells you, listen to her, for through Isaac your descendants shall be named. And of the son of the slave woman I will make a nation also, because he is your descendant. So Abraham got up early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar, putting them on her shoulder, and gave her the boy and sent her away. And she departed and wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was used up, she left the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposite him, about a bow shot away. For she said, may I not see the boy die? And she sat opposite him, and raised her voice and wept. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, what is the matter with you, Hagar? Do not fear, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is. Get up, lift up the boy, and hold him by the hand, for I will make a great nation of him. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went in and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. And God was with the boy, and he grew, and he lived in the wilderness and became an archer. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. Now it came about at the time that Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, spoke to Abraham, saying, God is with you in all that you do. So now, swear to me here by God that you will not deal falsely with me, or with my offspring, or with my descendants, but according to the kindness that I have shown to you. You shall show to me and to the land in which you have resided. Abraham said, I swear it. But Abraham complained to Abimelech because of the well of water which the servants of Abimelech had seized. And Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this thing. You did not tell me, nor did I hear of it until today. So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech. And the two of them made a covenant. But Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. Then Abimelech said to Abraham, what do these 7 ewe lambs mean, which you have set by themselves? He said, you shall take these 7 ewe lambs from my hand, so that it may be a witness for me that I dug this well. Therefore he called that place Beersheba, because the two of them took an oath. So they made a covenant at Beersheba, and Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, got up and returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree at Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham resided in the land of the Philistines for many days. Genesis 22, the offering of Isaac. Now it came about after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he said, here I am. Then he said, Take now your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on the mountains of which I will tell you." So Abraham got up early in the morning and saddled his donkey, and took two of his young men with him and his son Isaac. And he split wood for the burnt offering, and set out and went to the place of which God had told him. On the third day Abraham raised his eyes and saw the place from a distance. Then Abraham said to his young men, "Stay here with the donkey, and I and the boy will go over there, and we will worship and return to you." And Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it on his son Isaac. And he took in his hand the fire and the knife. So the two of them walked on together. Isaac spoke to his father Abraham and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am, my son." And he said, "Look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham said, "God will provide for himself the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." So the two of them walked on together. Then they came to the place of which God had told him. And Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood, and bound his son Isaac, and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham reached out with his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, "Abraham, Abraham." And he said, "Here I am." He said, "Do not reach out your hand against the boy, and do not do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." Then Abraham raised his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering in the place of his son. And Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." As it is said to this day, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, "By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this thing, and have not withheld your son, your only son. Indeed, I will greatly bless you, and I will greatly multiply your seed as the stars of the heavens and as the sand, which is on the seashore. And your seed shall possess the gate of their enemies. And in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice." So Abraham returned to his young men, and they got up and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham lived in Beersheba. Now it came about after these things that Abraham was told, saying, "Behold, Milcah also has borne children to your brother Nahor. Uz, his firstborn, Buz, his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram, Chesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. And it was Bethuel who fathered Rebekah. These 8 Milcah born to Nahor, Abraham's brother, his concubine, whose name was Reumah, also gave birth to Tebah, Gemah, Tehesh, and Mecca. Rebekah's a legend. We'll read about Rebekah in the future. People really talk down on Abraham, and why did he knew the Lord, he listened to the Lord, and he trusted in the Lord, and the Lord knew that, and he wouldn't do that to him. Just testing him, just testing him. I'm going to read this real fast. Genesis 23, death and burial of Sarah. Now Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham came in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Then Abraham arose from mourning before his dead, and spoke to his sons of Heth, saying, "I am a stranger and a foreign resident among you. Give me a burial site among you, so that I may bury my dead out of my sight." The sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, "Hear us, my lord. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of your graves. None of us will refuse you his grave for burying your dead." So Abraham stood up and bowed to the people of the land, the sons of Heth. And he spoke with them, saying, "If you are willing to let me bury my dead out of my sight, listen to me, and plead with me, Ephron the son of Zahor, for me, that he may give me the cave of Mac, Mac, Machpelah, which he owns, which is at the end of his field. For the full price, let him give it to me in your presence for a burial site. Now Ephron was sitting among the sons of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham so that the sons of Heth heard, that is, all who entered the gate of the city, saying, No, my lord, listen to me. I give you the field, and I give you the cave that is in it. In the presence of the sons of my people I give it to you. Bury your dead. And Abraham bowed before the people of the land. But he spoke to Ephron so that the people of the land heard, saying, If you will only please listen to me, I will give the price of the field. Accept it from me so that I may bury my dead there. Then Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, My lord, listen to me. A plot of land worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between me and you? So bury your dead. Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver which he had named in the presence of his sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, currency acceptable to a merchant. So Ephron's field, which was in Machpelah, which faced Mamre, the field and the cave which was in it, and all the trees which were in the field that were within all the confines of its border, were deeded over to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who entered the gate of the city. After this, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that was in it were deeded over to Abraham for a burial site by the sons of Heth. More to be buried. Just over 10 minutes. I hope you all have a blessed week. I pray for you if you all need healing, guidance. Call upon the Lord for strength, wisdom, spread love, spread God. In Jesus' name, amen.